Hi, good morning. My name is Soshi. I'm doing a presentation on my finalization of what I was able to find through my research about my question for our research project. Here we go. First of all, my research question is what is the impact of CALL in the classroom? If you do not know what CALL is computer assistant language learning, and that is involving computer technology, um, any type of technology like laptops, computers, iPhones, telephones in the classroom to help teach. These devices bring lots of different diverse programs that you can use in the classroom. Um, so Call can more specifically be something that teaches students that doesn't need your help as a teacher. So it would be a form of making teaching very independent. For example, Duolingo is one of them. It's kind of like the idea that you work with a computer or an AI and you learn and you like progress, right? Why I'm so drawn to Call, because I've taken a lot of courses through TESOL program, mainly because of Brian Smith, who is one of the main researchers and professors at our campus. Um, what he believes, what he really believes is that technology is the future of teaching, and that technology is not going to replace teachers, and that we should embrace technology as teachers, and those who are more advanced in technology are going to be the most successful teachers, and in the future be the most sought out teachers. So Call has really drawn me because there is a big divide between older teachers who hate technology, or teachers in general who hate technology, and teachers who love technology, embrace it, use it for everything. But there is a desire to find a balance between usage, between how much is good usage in the classroom, um, if technology is distraction in the classroom. So there's lots of topics, and um, I'm more interested because the technology is more revolutionized due to. So the reason that I chose Call and the impact in the classroom is because the new technology that's coming out for teaching English is just so rapid, and there's so much to like analyze and look at. And now Call is just so used in the classroom in order to like supplement teach, especially like students who um, are English learners, but they're going into a classroom full of English native English speakers or speakers who already speak English. So it's kind of like an amazing way to teach English without, you know, um, without taking away from other students' learning. Okay. So inspiration, Call and AI replacing teachers. A lot of people think that ChatGPT and all this AI is coming out, it's going to replace teachers. And I actually think it's the opposite because I like to use ChatGPT and I've played with all the new like the AIs and like photo generators and lesson planner. Like I am in love with this technology because people think it's easy. I'll write my paper, make me a lesson plan. No, you really have to be really smart in how you speak to that technology to make it work. So I think teachers who are fluent in AI language and who are able to project their thoughts into technology like AI will really be the future of the most successful teachers. Um, Recognizing the surge in technology due to COVID, there has been a large increase in technology use in the classroom. That's what started it all. And then desire to expose the positive and negative impacts of technology in the classroom. So a lot of people think there's negative and positives, and all of them can be debatable sometimes. So we'll be talking about that. Aim to understand if the tools are helping or hurting teachers, and um, is it leading to success in the classroom? Is it leading to failure? Is it leading to lack of teaching? So we'll be talking about all this, and this is all the like ideas that I had in my head before I went into teaching, into analyzing my research question and where my research question came from, because I had already been thinking about how call is so important in the classroom. I took two courses this semester about it, so heard them. So key findings. So when doing research, I did a annotated bibliography, which we'll be talking about in the next slide. But I also have done my own research papers. I want to say two research papers. Like I said, I've taken a course on uh call and all these different technology of terms, and it's just been really interesting to me. And I have become really good at using ChatGPT, and um, the ways I have been able to learn how to teach students how to use it, especially when they are stuck in how to learn things like, oh, how do I write a paragraph? Because Google's gonna tell me something, but ChatGPT is gonna break it down to another level. So key findings: it fills students' education gaps, enhances their ability. Through research, I found that technology is filling those gaps that us as teachers cannot fill, either because the teaching methods they're using maybe don't fit students' needs, or because students just need a different way to learn it, or we don't have that time to sit with them and teach them, right? We have a whole class of students. Oh, but if we can sit them down with technology and ask, oh, can you finish this and do it by yourself? And then they can fill those gaps without your need or your stressing of, oh, gotta teach him and I have to go teach class. Um, Number two, the research emphasizes the importance of balanced traditional teaching methods with the integration of technology in the classroom. Balance, balance, balance. What I heard in a lot of my papers is that technology is not at fault for being or failing students in certain ways. It's the idea that you have to understand to what extent technology can fulfill students' needs, and you have to be able to fill the majority of the gaps with your teaching, and then the technology almost fills in the gaps you can't fill, or is filled better by technology. So balance in how much you teach and you stand up there and you teach your lesson, and how much you let them sit on the computer or on their phone to do their lessons and their homework and all that. Um, Technology is not going to replace teachers. It's a tool to increase teaching and reduce stress. Technology is not going to replace teachers or education in any way. Technology is a tool. It's never going to take over. It doesn't have empathy. It doesn't have certain aspects of understanding students. It's really complex for students sometimes. So technology is not going to replace teachers. Teachers who know technology are going to replace teachers who don't know technology. And that is the fear that is misunderstood. It's not about this teacher is going to be replaced by technology. Oh, AI is going to teach a class. No, 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 no. A teacher who knows how to use AI and technology and incorporate all these new forms of technology in the classroom is going to replace the teacher who is still stuck in her methods of like 10 years ago. Okay. Despite the fear of call in the classroom, it's very beneficial. Like many of the things that I researched showed that, for example, Quizlet was leading to so much success and increasing students' need just because it can adapt to students' needs. It can give you different ways to learn it. Games. It also, gamification was a huge thing. Call allows gamification to happen. Gamification is the use of games in the classroom, and it makes learning so much more fun for students to just play a game to learn their vocab words instead of sitting and watching your teacher go over the same flashcard over and over. The research also reveals a divide in teachers who recall, very divided, like we talked about. Teachers who don't know technology and are fearful of it, and teachers who are willing to go and take that step to learn and use it in the classroom. So it's just going to be a divide. And I think at the end of the day, it's going to be who learned it will progress, and those who didn't will almost be so much less successful in the classroom. Not saying that the teaching methods are good, but all the teachers I've met who have been amazing are using technology in one way or another. Um, Last point for our key findings: call has a positive impact on English teaching, not only on students, but also on teachers' effectiveness. Call leads to teachers reducing of stress, reducing of creating certain aspects of their lesson, feeling that they are thinned out in where they can teach and can't teach. So it was able to really reduce the type of work that teachers need to do, because sometimes you don't need to write your own sentences. You can say, ChatGPT, write these sentences for me. For example, using our vocab words, or make this crossword for me for the students. Why not use a tool that is already there to lead to so much more success? Or using a program in your classroom that is going to teach your students vocab, when maybe you don't need to be up there with the same flashcards every time. So these are the findings that I found. Let's go look at some research that I actually did. We're going to look more specifically at my annotated bibliography. Here we go. Beautiful little lady. It's loading. Come on, come on. Okay, so for the annotated bibliography, I researched 10 articles that more specifically explored the impact of Paul in the classroom. Uh, but there has been past research that I've done, so this research was a little bit different than the last one, in the sense that I try to explore more internationally, just because that's my interest right now. I like to teach international literature, but anyways, there you go. So, the main ones I wanted to talk about was, sorry, it's just lagging. It's not gonna let me do that. So, one of the big ones I really liked was the Handbook of Technology and Second Language Teaching and Learning, um, just because it really teaches you how the benefits of technology in the classroom, and what it really talked about how there has to be a balance in teaching old methods and teaching new methods, and how impactful and amazing that leads to students to be so much more successful. And it does talk about how some teachers are against it, but at the same time, the fast-paced way that technology can do so many things um, just leads to so much success. So that's one thing that I really thought was amazing. Let me see if I can find it. So smartphones in the classroom. I really wanted to analyze not just how computers in the classroom work, or maybe use a program that they use at home. I wanted to know how, when students bring their phone into the classroom, um, what does it lead to, right? So a lot of people are worried that, oh, my students are going to use their phones and then they're not going to get their work done. They're going to text their friends instead. And that's like one thing I've seen in the classroom, that a lot of students do took that for advantage. But at the same time, when you realize how effective it is for students to pull out their phone and use it in the classroom for certain aspects in the lessons that you teach, it's amazing. Because you don't have to answer certain questions, like, I don't know, maybe you're teaching nouns, and someone asks you, oh, is he a noun? And you don't have to really answer the question. You can teach students to research on their own, which is just another tool that they can use in the real world, because they have to be able to research and answer their own questions when you're not there anymore. So smartphones are really effective in teaching students, as long as you set limits and expectations for students. So make sure they are clear in order for teachers to lead students to success with the smartphones, and it reduces the amount of distraction that it becomes. So that's what this one teaches. We're gonna review one more just because we're kind of running out of time. If I could remember where it is. Here we go. Okay, so then I also wanted to understand teachers' views. Like I said, it's very divided. Call is a very controversial thing sometimes in the teaching world, depending on where you are. And it talked about how there's a big separation in teachers' likings and not likings, but this one more specifically analyzed that division, but also analyzed how much success it leads to teaching internationally, and how students were learning so much faster. Students were having so much more enjoyment while learning. Students were just so much more drawn to learning through technology. So this research was done in Pakistan and it showed the significance benefits for students, but also how teachers learn to embrace it. After a period of time of using call in their classroom through different like semesters, they were like, wow, we can tell how much more successful the students are. So it is clear through my research that call is just a positive impact in the classroom and how it is leading to amazing things. So here are some little excerpts that I pulled out. Smartphones can power migrants and refugees by providing access to language lesson. Oh, sorry, it's coming out. Learning, culture integration, and practical living information. And this is from one of the articles, the one we just talked about, the smartphone one. Amazing, just amazing on how much of a tool is impacting the classroom. So so they used a different certain model to teach vocabulary using Quizlet, and the difference in the students' learning was just so much more. So the results show that was activities met a high percentage of TFA criteria, contributing to significant learning gains in both experimental groups. So Quizlet was one of the ones that I researched because it is part of CALL. So it's just like a online vocabulary learning program that has games and vocab. So these are just two excerpts I wanted to share because I just thought they were so impactful research. And then let's close it up because we only have about 3 minutes. What did we find? Let's close it up. What did we learn? Clearly, call is just such a positive impact in the classroom, and I am very interested in continuing to do my research because I think very much, like I said, teachers of the future, teachers who are going to be successful, are those that are using technology. So it's really going to, I know COVID already has cut off a lot of teachers who don't know how to use technology, and I already know that these new ChatGPT, AI, call, these new programs are coming out are going to segregate a lot of teachers and even make them fall out of education. But the future is here and we must do what is best for our students, right? And we have to drive teachers to learn about technology, to implement the classroom, to just lead to more success in the classroom. So, conclusions: technology does not replace teachers, but enhances their teaching. It doesn't replace them, but it might drive out some teachers who don't know about technology, and that's a whole different topic. But it, technology is a tool for teachers to lead students to success, not a tool to replace teachers. Call helps fill students' education gaps. The things that you can't teach or don't have time to teach, or gaps that they already had coming into the classroom, you can fill them using different programs and you reduce the stress on teachers, reduce the stress on students, reduce the stress on time and different things that you have to do to meet students' needs. So call really helps fill those gaps. Balance is needed to use technology slash call. Anytime you use call technologies, teachers really have to understand there has to be a balance in how they teach because you can't just put them on a computer and expect them to learn. You have to find that balance of how much of a lesson am I teaching up on the board, how much of the lesson is with students communicating with each other, how much is needed to lead to success, and how much is just, oh, let's go on our computers and do a research project, Not too much of being on the computer, but not too much of you just being up there and talking. Call technology should be used as a tool and not feared. Call is the future, but call is not the enemy. It is not the villain. Call is a tool that's going to lead to success, almost like an iPhone, almost like a laptop. It's not something to fear, and it's the future of something amazing. So, that is my little research spiel, and I hope you really liked my conclusions. I tried to break it down as much as possible for the key findings just because there's so much. When you research call, there's just so much on what is new and what is good and what works and what doesn't work and how to use it in the classroom. So it is a lot. But thank you so much for watching my little research spiel. Have an amazing day. Bye.